All right. So good evening, everyone. How are you? How are you feeling? Are you guys excited about recruiting? Ooh, if you're excited, put a fire emoji on the chat box so that I can know we are excited for this training and we're ready to learn. Fire emojis on the chat box. Yes, I can see Karen is excited, Elizabeth, Hope. Wow. I can see we are all excited. So I'm just going to get started. We're doing part 2 of what we did last week. And last week we focused on getting the prospect, starting conversations with them. And now you have your prospect. What do? You need to take them through the exposures that we have in our business. You need to make sure that they're equipped to do the business. And without taking them through these things, then you're going to have leaders who are dependent on you, those who cannot make decisions on their own. They need their upline, they need to know upline, can I, every time they'll just be depending on you. And we want to have a team of independent leaders, in that even if you're not around, business is still running. So I'm going to share my screen. Today we are doing let me see. Can you, yeah, I'm sure you can see my screen. So we are airtight duplication system. What we have in our business. I really hope you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Emmanuel?
Yes, you can see your screen. Proceed.
All right. Thank you. So airtight duplication system. Let me just introduce myself again. My name is Sandra Obuya. I'm a student at the University of Nairobi doing my degree in psychology. I'm also a supervisor in the business and CEO and founder of my amazing team, Powerhouse Empire. So let's get started. So we talked about why recruiting, the fact that you'll have a team, you'll get to change people's lives, progress, bonus every 15th. For those of us who've received our bonuses, watu wa KCB hata inaingianga 14th. Yeah, so sisi tulipata jana. So that is also something to reflect on, because we are talking about recruiting. Are you happy with the amount that you saw in your bank account? Let us reflect on that. Then Rita, recruiting is the answer. If you want that money to change, if you want those figures to go up, if you want more zeros or more digits, in that bank account, then recruiting is the answer. Now, when I was doing the business, at some point I wanted to stop recruiting and just focus on retailing. And yes, I would make my profits, I would make like 15, 20K, I'll do my 2cc, 2.5. And I was just comfortable with doing little CCs because of the small money that I was getting, and I got so maybe recruiting has its people. Maybe I'm forcing issues on this side. Maybe I should just focus on retailing. But once I saw the money that people get through recruiting, and I think I also got some money in my account, I was like, wait, this is extra money. This is just from, bringing someone into the business, and they're productive, so I've been paid. So the more I started seeing money in my account, just from, sometimes it would even be just to sponsor a client, or maybe someone who's done just a minimum order, and I'd see money and I was getting more and more excited. So that pushed me to go back to recruiting, and nikasalimiana na the fact that recruiting really is the answer. So you need to accept, by the way, if you want to achieve those big things, recruiting is the answer. Then visualizing, having a big team and affirming it, then making friends. Now, this is very important because when you're talking to people about the business, you can't just go, we might use the direct approach when it comes to online, but now physically, you can't just meet someone and start saying, hi, I have this opportunity. No, you can't do that. So it's good to make friends. And these are skills that network marketing teaches you. So it's very easy to say, I'm an introvert. I don't know how to make friends. I don't know how to talk to people. Then start opening your mind to the to the idea of making friends, and look at your goals and ask yourself, now I'm an introvert. Will being an introvert and saying, I'll just stay in the house all day, I won't leave, will that help you achieve your goals? And if you see it won't, then sometimes it might be necessary for you to get out of that comfort zone and start talking to people. So just make friends. And once you make friends, these people will get your contacts. They're like, wait, what are you doing? What is? Sometimes don't go to a place with the mindset of I must get prospects here. Make friends. By getting their contacts, they will automatically see what you do. Then listen to GoPro. Building your network marketing business by Jim Rohn is also very powerful. That one helps you with building thick skin in this business, because for recruiting, you need thick skin. And then GoPro is also to help you do this as a professional, not as an amateur, amakireja, as we say it. And any other recruiting tips you may find online. There's YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, I don't know, so many platforms you can get information on recruiting. Then draft a plan with your plan on how to start. It's not going to be easy at first, but you get better with time. So be professional. It's important to or a biz, like a side hustle. This is actually a profession, so you need to be professional, but at the same time relax. So you need to find the balance, because sometimes you can find yourself being too professional. You even sound like a boss, and very well in this business, no one is anyone's boss, yeah. So be professional. Don't be too rigid. Even when someone makes a joke, you're very firm. It's as if you don't want to laugh. I don't know. Just relax. It will just come. Then have all the tools ready with you. So we talked about the tools to have your personal tools, the company tools, all that. Then embrace just prepare yourself for a roller coaster, but it's going to be fun. Then not everyone will see the business for what it is, and that's okay. You just have to find the right people. So keep going. And then you use the duplication system to filter out the jokers. And that's what we want to look at. There are people who you'll start with, yes, they'll be like, I've seen the opportunity. This is the business for me. I am so in. You think, I found my diamond. Then somewhere in the middle, they just get lost. I'm sure some of us have met people who you've taken through they've looked at probably a one-to-one, they've looked at the BOM, then once you get to the planning session, they sort of just like disappear, or now they stop picking your calls. They start dodging your, I don't know. That happens also. So the airtight duplication system. So we start with a one-to-one. This is important because you're the person inviting this prospect to look at the business. Yeah. And this gives you the opportunity to understand your prospect, their wants and their needs. Because in a BOM, you might not get that clearly, because even for the online BOM, it's an online meeting, so you don't have the chance to interact with this prospect. Then even at the office, maybe after the BOM is when you can have a conversation with this person, but a one-to-one is more up close and personal. So you'll get to understand, the more you talk to them, you'll find that it's easier for them to just talk to you alone than when you're in a group. They might even mention, yeah, I want to buy this car, I want to do this, I want to do that. So you'll end up getting the hot button. Then now after they've seen the whole presentation, they've stayed through, the first thing you ask them is not I remember some of the things I used to ask these people. You don't start asking them, you'll join, Cindy, you are sold. I don't assume. Maybe this person has not seen the business really. They've looked at it and they're like, no, this is not for me. And by the time you are getting excited that this person is going to start, sometimes they're even afraid to disappoint you. So they'll end up saying, yes, I'd want to do the business. Then somewhere in the middle they get lost. So ask them, did the presentation make sense to you? And then ask them, what did you like best? If they say, yes, the presentation made sense to me, ask them, what did you like best? This is also an opportunity for you to know what their hot button is. So maybe through the BOM, they saw the travels, Mambo na Eagle manager, and they're like, this is what I would want. I would want an opportunity to travel, and not just to travel, but to travel for free. So this person's hot button is travel. And the more you listen to them, you'll realize that if you use their hot buttons, even when you're doing the planning session and things like that, you'll find that you have a reason to keep them there. You'll keep reminding them of that, and it keeps this person, or rather you hold them accountable. Yeah. So once they tell you what they liked best, then ask if they're ready to move to the next step. Sometimes you're so excited, like, this person has said yes, and then you go like, okay, what's next? They can say yes, and then even in your head, you're like, oh, what do I tell this person? So just ask them, are you ready to move to the next step? And then because if you start telling them, now there's a long process that we are going to go through, there are so many trainings that you'll attend, this person might start getting tired even before they start. So when you ask them, are you to have a planning session whereby you get to look at the marketing plan into details. We'll get to set goals. We'll get to just to get ourselves started on the business. Are you ready to start? Then they say yes. This are some of the tools that we give our prospects, those who are studying. And without these tools, you might be, maybe some of you maybe your uplines didn't give you and you're still here, we thank God. But there are prospects that you lose them along the way. On YouTube, this is a video that some of the objections that they get, they will leave because of this objection. So if they don't have this they will find this same objection, like this business is hard, people, and I don't know how to handle them. So give them brilliant compensate really works. Then rise of the entrepreneur. Now this is more of a documentary by Eric Warren. It's also on YouTube. And Rise of it has people who are not even in network marketing that talk about network marketing, how how the industry works, how it's different from employment. It even talks about some of the things that network marketing can improve on, so this is not a video made by just forever or so. Even when you're giving them these videos, explain what each video is about. Yeah, tell them handling objections is a 12-minute video. Also mention the time so that they're not like, huh, you're giving me 3 videos to go watch. Is this a class? When will I start? They usually have those questions. So handling objections is a 12-minute video, and this is what about. Compensation 28 minutes, right, hour long. And I usually tell them planning session. So I tell them that this equips them at least to get started. So they have to go through it. And I usually tell them make notes. Even as you're going through these videos, make notes because business, yeah. And let me tell you, if these people do not go through these three videos, we normally do not. Done listening to them, then we can advance that. If you won't be able to move to the planning session, so that you don't invite them to come for the planning session, maybe at the warehouse. After 2 days, then they come, and then you tell them you didn't listen, then just go back home. It would be unfair. Probably they've used their money, their fare, and they might never ever come back. So make sure that you stay firm with whatever it is that you tell them. So they've gone through the videos. You meet for the planning session. you have discussed the videos, also discuss these videos with them so that you know this person is able to get started, this person has understood these videos. Because if they don't understand the time leverage concept, then they won't understand why they need to build a team. Yeah, so it's very important that they go through those 3 videos. Then now during the planning session, you look at the goals. At least we've been having a series on the first steps to manager, so we know how to take our prospects through. We know how to explain even the goal setting part. We know how to explain how the profits and the bonuses come about, all that. Then now, after planning, teach them how to write a name list. Now this is the who do you know list, and this is where you normally teach them how to write. So I normally take them through. I give them the outline of how the name list should look like. We don't just write names, at least for how I do it, on how I was, mentored by my upline. You need the details of this person, not just the name and the contact, but the name, the contact. Is this person warm or cold? Market. Warm is people you've known before joining Forever, your family, your friends. Then cold, these are people who you've just met, or rather people who you meet after knowing about the business. Then you also look at their occupation. How do you relate with this person? Are they family? Are they, your friend? Are they your high school classmate? What is their hot button? It's important to know all this, because even if you look at the first steps to manager, when you're making the call, you normally mention the hot button. So it's important to have all this information so that when you're calling them, you're not wondering, what am I supposed to say here? Then I also guide them on how to write their, or rather use their grinding book, because it's not just a book where you just write names and call people. At least the name, the contact, the product of interest. Then there's a client record book. At least these 3 books are the most important when they're starting. And tell them to get 3 different notebooks, because you don't want name list ikombele, grinding book is at the back. It's going to be very confusing, because remember, your name list is something you're going to keep on updating as you stay in this business. Then the grinding book is a separate book. Then I normally advise them, do not get a out, notebook or an A5, hardcover notebook. The black ones are usually the ones I advise most. Yes. Then the client record book, so that even when they're getting clients, they're keeping the record, so that they can do proper customer care to their clients. Yeah. Then tell them about opening the Facebook and Instagram accounts so that they can mature, because you can't open an account today and you start running an ad today. And a lot of us, or maybe some of us, start our prospects straight away on online marketing. And you know how online is, it needs time, it needs for you to build, momentum, so that people can start looking at your page, asking you how much is this. So when you start them that way and they don't see results, it's easy for them to quit. So the best way to start them off is offline, and you start with their name list, because that is where they'll get their first clients. So these accounts, you tell them to open, get a name, nini. They can even maybe start posting, but this is just so that the accounts can mature, so that by the time they have exhausted their name list, the accounts are mature. You can even now start running ads on the social media platforms. Then after and building business. Now again, the same thing I did when I was giving them the first 3 videos. I tell them what the video I normally share the audio book.
Hello, Sandra.
Or sometimes I share
Hello, Sandra.
the audiobook can be found on YouTube. or most of the time,
Sorry, guys, I think there's a network issue on Sandra's side. Let's see what we can do about it. 1 second.
hello, can
Yes,
I?
we were
Oh,
struggling
okay.
to hear you.
Sorry, niliwaachia wapi?
Yeah, your network was acting up.
Oh,
So maybe you want to repeat that same slide.
all of it?
No, halfway.
Halfway, okay. Okay. Did you hear the first 3 videos, or I go back to those 3?
The first 3 points.
The first 3 points.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So 1-to-1, this is the airtight duplication system, and we start with the 1-to-1. This gives you the opportunity to understand your prospect, their wants and needs. And because it is you who brought this person into the business, they relate with you. Yeah. So this helps you to know what they probably want to drive, if they want a car in the first place, how much they'd want to earn, do they have a family? You get to learn their hot button at this point. And because they know you, they might, they're usually free with you to tell you these things. Then after the 1-to-1, you can invite them for a BOM. Could be a physical one or the online one, whichever works for this person, and also depending on their location. So after the BOM, don't you can be so excited and think that this prospect has seen what you saw in this business, but maybe that is not the case. So it's good to ask them, has the presentation made sense to you? They'll tell you yes or no. And ask them, what did you like best? Even first steps to manager advices on that, because when you start asking them, what did you think of the business, this normally makes someone start thinking mostly towards the negative, and they'll start looking for small things just to give excuses as to why they think the business would not work. Yeah. Then after that, ask them if they're ready to move to the next step, and that is normally the planning session. So it's good to tell them that after this, we'll be having a planning session where we get to look at the marketing plan in detail, and how you start talking to people, where you'll get clients from, because that is usually a question in their head: where will I get these clients from? So you tell them, we'll also tackle where you'll get clients from, so are you ready to get started? Once they say yes, now you give them the 3 videos: handling objections, brilliant compensation, and rise of the entrepreneur. As you give them these videos, make sure you explain what the videos are all about, so that they're not just like, you just gave me videos and told me to go and watch. So handling objections is a 12-minute video that talks about some of the objections that you'll face when you're starting this business, and it even tells you how to handle them, how to tackle those objections, so they'll feel, oh, okay, I have a guide. Then brilliant compensation is a 28-minute video that teaches you on time leverage, the time leverage concept, which is what runs our business. Then rise of the entrepreneur is about an hour long, talks about network marketing, why it is a better option. And it even has people who are not in network marketing that are talking about it. So make sure that you go through these 3 videos and write notes. I tell them to write notes in a notebook, not in their phone, in a note, easily refer, because as a new person, There are things that you might forget as you stay in this business. Yeah. Normally do not proceed with the planning if they've not listened to the 3 videos, because we discuss them before we do the planning. So I need to make sure that they are ready. And I normally tell them this before we have the planning session. Make sure you've gone through these 3, otherwise you'll not be able to proceed to the planning. You won't understand some things about the business if you've not listened to these videos. Yeah, so during planning we do the goal setting. We just look at, we take them through the first steps to manager. Then after that, I teach them how to write a name list, how they should structure it. I tell them they need a grinding book, they should have it, and a client record book, at least these 3 for someone who is just getting started. So when I give them these 3, when I tell them about these 3 books, I tell them, please get a hard copy notebook, because the spiral ones tend to, the papers tend to fly out, so you can lose some names, and you can't always trust your phone because phones can get lost, you can lose contacts. So make sure that you have written these names in a book. And then the client record book is important, because that is how you can do proper customer care to your clients. Then this is why I tell them about opening the Facebook and Instagram accounts, so that they can mature, not so that they can start running ads, but so that they can mature. Because if you start someone off using online running ads, we know how online can be sometimes. Ads can just, stop giving you leads, your accounts can get blocked. So I just tell them to create the account so that they can mature. They can continue posting, but as the accounts mature. So we focus on the people they have on the name list, so that by the time we've exhausted the name list, now we are ready to go online and the accounts are set. Then I give them GoPro and building your network marketing business. Again, I explain why they need to go through these 2 videos. So GoPro is, I normally give them the soft copy so that they can, read through, but you can also tell them to buy the hard copy, whichever works, or they can listen to the audiobook, which is usually on YouTube. This one teaches you how to build this business as a professional, because this is not a cabiz, as we said before. Then building your network marketing business helps them to develop thick skin. Because the character development, that even as a person who's starting, expecting that your family members are usually going to be the first ones to buy, and then they don't buy, or they discourage you from doing this business, that can be very tough for someone who's starting. So make sure that they listen to this, so that when that happens, they're not so, disappointed to the point where now they want to quit the business. Then after that, we go to product orientation. Product orientation, you can do this physically, Zoom, or on audio. So you can meet this prospect in the warehouse, you make sure that they get their product catalog, you take them through, that one works. You can do it on Zoom if this person is far, or on audio. So because I realized some of my prospects were not in Nairobi, and then by the time I do the whole product catalog through a Zoom or a Google Meet meeting, it's gone for long, unless maybe we do it in bits, And the trick is, you normally want to take them through these exposures very fast. Don't leave too much time, 24 to 48 hours before you do the next exposure. Yeah, that time is usually enough. So I decided to record voice notes on these products that we have in the product catalog. So through a voice note, I can be able to explain, comprehensively about a product, as opposed to a Zoom meeting whereby they have to jot down everything I'm saying, and they can miss some important benefits about our product. So I just recorded voice notes, and then I share it with them, so they have the voice notes on the asset, and they can always go back to these products. If they don't remember what aloe vera does, they can always come back to the voice note. So that has been working for me. Then, so make sure you take them first through the fastest selling products. It's good that they know all the products that we have, then emphasize on the fastest selling ones, the benefits and their unique selling points. Things like tooth gel. Why shouldn't someone maybe buy another brand? What is so different about our tooth gel? Then after you've taken them through the product orientation or after they've listened to this voice notes, ask them which products they feel comfortable selling. There's someone who will tell you immediately, I feel like weight management is my thing. There's someone who will tell you, personal care, those products, I have understood them properly, I can sell them. Ask them what they're comfortable selling. Then you can get started with those ones. You can tell them now in your name list who are the people who you can talk to and they can buy this personal care pack. So teach them to sell in packs from the beginning, because we normally have, your success line is telling you, upline I've sold a tooth gel, upline I've sold an aloe lip. For me, my first order was an aloe lip and I was so excited. You don't want to tell them, I don't have that, or at least now it's been made easy, you can get one product, but teach them to sell in packs so that the case credits can move. Because again, you want to make sure that this person moves to assistant supervisor very fast so that they can start building. Yeah. Then now the activities orientation. It's important to do these things with them. Yeah. Contacting their name list. They don't know how to talk to people. And remember, when you started, you told them you are in this business for yourself, but not by yourself. You promise them that you are going to hold their hand. These things we tell people when they're starting their business. Yes, I'll be here, I'll support you. Tell them all those things. So make sure that you do that. Teach them how to contact their name list. I personally have scripts that I share with them, and I'm like, you can start your conversation like this. And I tell them, if it means you putting your phone on loudspeaker or having earphones so that you can read through this script. I mean, not like a robot, but you can at least use this script as a guide. That one can work for you so that they're not worried. What if I say the wrong thing? What if they ask something and I don't know? So make these calls with them. Yeah, sometimes I normally put one, we use an earphone, so I have one on my ear and the other one on my prospect's ear, and I'm like, let us talk to this person. So I tell them, you will start, you will tell them, hi, what, catch up a bit, then tell them I started this business and I'm here with my mentor. Do you mind if I let them speak to you? And if they say yes, I'm like, hi, so and so, my name is so and so, I am so and so's mentor, and I'd like to just briefly tell you what the business is about and what products we have. Is that okay with you? So I help them. So they listen to how I make the calls, and then now the second, third call, now they start making them on their own, and I correct them after the call. So I normally have a notebook and a pen, and I write probably the mistakes they're doing and the things they're doing right, so that after the call, I'm like, you did this so well, you did this so well, then we can improve on this and that and that. Yeah, be careful with the language you use, because if you tell them you don't know how to make calls, yeah, you did a bad job, they'll be so discouraged. Then teach them how to also broadcast to their warm market. Show them how to make a broadcast. How do you talk to these people? What is a broadcast about? Someone can just say, hi guys, on a broadcast, so it goes to everyone as hi guys, and that is something that you can tell them on. Teach them how to post on social media also. It's not just posting a product and you're done. Say something about the product, post a video, post the benefits, share a meme, related to nutrition, or if it's weight management. Tell them how to put their content out there on social media. In short, just take them through the daily success checklist. Now, the daily success checklist includes the activities that we do on a daily. In the morning, things like personal development. Then you teach them how to make calls, so that in a day they've done all the basics, all the things that are needed for them to be successful in this business. Then ensure they have the company tools for business. That is their first steps to manager. This one they'll have because you'll have done the planning session. Catalog they'll have because you'll have done the product orientation. The price list, share it with them. Flyers, tell them about the flyers, the brochures, so that they can have them. These are usually, like 10 shillings, 20 shillings, so that they can start sharing this with people they meet, probably in matatus, in events that they go to. They'll feel like, I have something that I can show someone. This is proof of, the business that I'm doing. Tell them about the company book, the receipt book, book, client wants a receipt, what do we in advance? The receipt book, and then following for Kenya, East Africa, tell them about our, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, make sure that they're plugged into the system. This will help them because there are products that are posted, recognitions, announcements. So make sure that they're in touch with what is happening. Then personal tools for business, the name list, the client record book, the grinding book. Now, I normally mention about the active candidate list, and I tell them how and then we are done with the system to application system. So it's more of a checklist. So you write someone's name, their contact, are they warm or cold? Then you write all these exposures that you need to take them through. So you go ticking, have I done this for so and so? So the next meeting, by the time you're booking the next meeting with this person, last week, 2 days ago, we went through the planning. So today we're probably going to discuss the GoPro, building your network marketing business, and then we go through product orientation. So you just know what is happening. First Steps to Manager calls it activity tracker. It's more or less the same thing. It's just that this one is more detailed. Then teach them how to write a DMO. There are people who come to this business and they're like, I don't know how I will do this business, what time I'll do it. And even for students, they're like, I don't have time to do this business. But if you look at students have so much time on their hands. Lectures are usually maybe 3 hours, and you can have maybe 1 or 2 in a day maximum. So you find that they have so much free time, and they end up not doing the business. Why? Because they don't have a daily method of operation. And this is where it's like a timetable. I'll wake up from this time, I'll do this at this time. So once they structure it, then they can know where to put their business, how many hours they're going to work in this business. So you need to make sure that they have a demo and a working one, and they should make sure it fits their schedule, so that they've not put, I'll call my clients from 11 to 12 when they know they have a class from 11 to 1. So teach them how to write that. You can also tell them about the loop card, so that when they're running ads, they have this card for payments. Yeah, this is very easy. Then notebook to write notes during trainings like this, the product trainings, when they come to the warehouse. For example, you find the grinding book Nimbele, then at the back they write their notes during the training. So tell your people from the word go, have a separate notebook where you just write notes. This will help you. Even when you have a team, you'll know this is where I wrote my notes. So you can do a comprehensive training to your team using these notes. Then training schedules, compile a timetable of all the trainings we have during the week and give it to them. So this includes your own personal trainings with your team, the company trainings, and also any other trainings that we normally have, the physical trainings. Make sure that you write the list, so that they won't say, I didn't know we had a meeting today, I didn't know we had a training at the office today. So make sure that they already have that list with them. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the airtight duplication system. So this will help you filter the jokers, because there are people, now let me tell you, there are people you talk to about the business, or you send them a video and they tell you, oh, I forgot to watch. There are those who tell you, I was asleep, I didn't get time. There are those who tell you, they usually have so many excuses. And if ukikubali uchoke, aki utachoka na mapema. But you just listen to these people and you say, as Jim Rohn normally says in building your network marketing business, isn't that interesting? When that happens, you just tell yourself that is so interesting, and then you move on to the next. Yeah. So again, don't allow them to waste your time, because for are doing this full time. So you don't have time to joke around with your business, and you don't want people who are here treating these small things. So you need to also be very firm for meetings. Tell them I'm meeting at this time, and this is so no. So we are going quickly, so that they also do not lose momentum. Even First Steps to Manager says it. Speed is of essence when you're recruiting. Then be assertive when handling your new business. So you have the one who knows. No, keep it professional, but at the same time, you relax. Then focus on educating this person. Teach them. You need to be a teacher. You need to tell them this is how we do it. This is how we respond to these clients. This is what we tell them. So educate them. You are sharing these exposures to educate them on what this business is about and the skills that they're going to need. Then teach them to be independent. I normally tell them I want to have independent leaders in my team. People who even when I'm not around, they understand that this business is theirs and not mine. Yeah. So don't do everything for them. Allow them to learn these things. Yeah. Because if you call for them every day, you're just calling their clients for them. What are they doing in this business? If you're always, texting for them, you tell them, let me do this for you. Sometimes tell them, can you compose a text, then share it with me? That this is what my upline would always do. If I tell her I would want to run an ad, probably a C9 ad or a vitality ad, she'd be like, send me the caption that you've created, then we can work on it. So allow them to also do things for themselves. Then detach your emotions from the outcome. Now, this is where this is usually for me has been the hardest part, because you can find someone who tells you, I've seen this business. You've taken them through the probably the planning session, and you've asked them, how would you like to start? Because there are so many ways to start. They can start with just an order. They can buy the 2cc start your journey pack. So you find someone has told you, I want to start with that journey pack. I want to go to assistant supervisor direct. So in your head, 2cc, sure bet. And then you tell yourself, how much money will that be in bonuses next month? So you've already calculated everything. Then, on the day they're supposed to come, either they're not picking their phones, or they tell you, I've actually changed my mind. I don't think I want to do that business. Thank you. Or they block you. And that time you knew 2cc, just like that. So when that happens, sometimes you can feel disappointed. You can, it's okay to have these feelings because you're human, but don't get so mad that you don't want to recruit anymore. Like, this person really wrong. What did I do? Why is this happening to me? There's nothing, there's nothing new under the sun. A lot of us have gone through that. So you're not the first person to experience it. And again, if you listen to building your network marketing business, Jim Rohn says you keep sowing. Some of the seeds will fall on the rock, some will be choked by the thorns, but there are those that will fall on the good soil. So you keep sowing. Yeah. If they block you, say, isn't that interesting? Then you move on. So detach your emotions from the outcome. Some of you might even end up getting mad at this because you told, in your head, you're like, this person was going to buy, and you are just so hurt you can even stop talking to this person. That is if they were your friend. So detach those emotions. Then be patient with your new prospects. Remember, anything of value takes time. So work closely with them for the first 30 days, then let them fly. At least for the first month, I am very hands-on with my new prospects. Then some of us want to take these people so fast, and you forget that when you started the business, ulisumbua upline wako sana. For some of us, maybe we were in, the next time we're not coming for trainings, we're not around, we're just giving excuses, but you want your prospects to be, very serious with the business. So just know that you'll find people who are not so fast maybe with learning this thing, the people will be a bit slow, and so work with your prospect there. You see those ones we end up going through the airtime duplicate. Yeah, so just be patient with them. But client, this person is asking this, the orientation, you probably get videos, but they're still asking, how does aloe vera work with these people? Then plug them into support channels. Ensure you add them to your WhatsApp group so that they see it's not just you and them in this business. They can reach out to someone else who's probably a PC or someone who just went to assistant supervisor recently. Plug them into support channels. Some of us had moments when we really wanted to give up in this business, but because of our cross lines, the people from other teams who you talk to and they'd be like, what, tuendelee, let's keep going. Those are the people who kept you going in this business. So you also want to make sure that it's not only you that they know in this business. It's very dangerous if your team just knows you in this business. Yeah, that means if you leave, the whole team has left, they don't know anyone else. So make sure that they know other people. Make sure they meet other leaders who can help them in challenging areas. I was struggling with my Instagram some time back, my product page, and my mentor was like, talk to this lady. So I talked to certain lady called Lucia. That is how a friendship even started. And this is someone who will keep each other motivated. So make sure that you connect them with other people who are doing well. Even if you know how to run an ad on Instagram, connect them with someone else who can run an ad on Instagram so that they make friends in this business. Then meet your prospects. Actually, this is very important. Well, unless they are very far and it's very hard for them to ever come to Nairobi or whatever city you are in, make sure you meet them. Don't finish the whole airtime duplication system and you've never seen this person. It's important. It helps build credibility, and they'll see you and they'll be like, oh, so this is the person I usually talk to. So it's important to meet your prospects. Focus on helping them achieve their goals. When they start getting complacent, you remind them. You remember when we were doing the planning session, you wrote you need to buy your mom new curtains for that house. You remember. So when you know their goals, that will help you keep them accountable, and they'll also be reminded of their why, and that will keep them going in the business. So when they're writing down their goals, take a photo and tell them this is for accountability purposes, so that when you forget, I will remind you. Then also give them this information in bits so that they don't get overwhelmed. And that is why we leave 24 to 48 hours between exposure, so that it's not every day you are just bombarding them with information. Yeah. Add them to the group when you feel they're ready. Yes, there are those who you might feel this one is not so ready. Maybe I shouldn't add them to the group yet. They're not that serious. It's okay. You can have a separate academy where you have only new people, and then you'll add them to your main groups when you this is someone who has probably started doing result-oriented activities. Then keep them excited and fired up. For these people, you might have to talk to them almost daily, at least on alternate days. You can share with them videos, like very short motivating videos, so that you just keep them excited and fired up. Then stop procrastinating your recruiting, because the people are like, maybe next month. Now the next 6 months of this year, I'm going to start those farms, the online prospecting. I'm going to start next month, and my 2023 is going to end in a bank. No, don't procrastinate. Start today. Start building momentum now. And once you start, never stop. And some of these things I'm saying is because I have experienced them myself. There's a time I was building seriously. Yeah, like I would end month, people are struggling to, probably finish, I don't know, get CC so that they can tick their goals. I'm there with the prospect doing a planning session, and I'm at 1.5. a bonus of 25,000. At that time, I was an AS and I was so excited. That was my biggest.
Hello, Sandra. Oops. Okay, we lost her again.
Sorry, leo sijui shida iko. I don't understand what is happening, but I'm about to finish. Sorry for that, guys. My connection. Never stop. We're going to be having our East Africa rally in Nairobi, yeah, next year. So look at how many people you had in the last East African rally. Were you alone in Zanzibar? The numbers with the next 6 months, if you just go into a recruiting spree, you will have so many people in January, and by the time 2024 your business will be taking a different turn. So make sure that we recruit seriously so that we can have so many people filling up that place. They'll be like, hey, Kenyans are all over the place, and these are serious business builders. Let us take the recognitions, and we can only do that if we recruit. So you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Don't ever tell yourself that I'm not a good recruiter, I don't know how to recruit. Once you start telling your brain those things, then it becomes, it starts believing that you're not good at recruiting. So make sure that you tell yourself, I am good at recruiting. I am learning. Tell yourself that you're learning, because that is where we all start. So you don't have to be a good recruiter for you to start. Make those mistakes, then within a period of time you'll be good to go. So see you all at the airports and the beaches of the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Sandra for the awesome training. We apologize for the hiccups in the internet.
I am Emmanuel.
Sorry. Yeah, I was saying thank you so much for tuning in. We apologize for the interruptions on the internet, but the recording will be on our YouTube tomorrow morning. Then we can always follow up and understand the recruitment process from prospecting, bringing the prospects into the system and making sure that they understand what Forever is all about. So thank you so much. We wish to close the meeting now. And so we'll continue some other time. Thank you so much. Have a good evening and see you next time.